Welcome back to another episode. This is Wild Bill. It is the 1st of July, new month, hope for new beginnings. Because the last few months of Chicago Cubs baseball has been tragic and awful. This past week, we had two series, one away in San Francisco against the San Francisco Baseball Giants, then went all the way across the country over to Milwaukee, so long way from home, especially in Milwaukee. Had an abysmal series against the San Francisco Giants, going 1-3, 1-2 against the Brewers. So back-to-back series losses, 2-5 on the week. Let's revisit some key moments that I see as being a big determining factor on how things ended up this week. The first game against the San Francisco Giants was the commemoration of Willie Mays. I believe that was the first home game that the San Francisco Giants have had since the passing of Willie Mays, who is, by all accounts, a baseball legend. You know, say hey kid, he had that big catch in the World Series out at old Polo Grounds. The classic over his head basket catch. That's an image that's forever ingrained into any sort of baseball player growing up's brain. It's kind of what we all want to achieve. And so, the baseball world lost a important figure. He was there at the beginning of integration, and people love him, and that fan base has never forgotten him. I don't think anybody in baseball has. I hope that he feels like he got his flowers while he was still there around, and that's just a lasting sentiment for any sort of baseball fan. I think that's safe to say. And the Giants commemorated him by fully exposing the Cubs bullpen, scoring 3 runs in the 9th inning, and stealing victory from the jaws of defeat from the Cubs, which is more or less like taking candy from a baby. They're not going to fight for it. The Cubs aren't here to win games. I don't know what they're here to do. So 1-3. I think Justin Steele had a really good outing as well out in San Francisco, and then still no win. He didn't have a win on his start on Saturday. But that was the first little bit of actual emotion anybody's shown whatsoever this entire season. Him getting into the dugout and telling people to wake up. That's what the team needs, and they won that game eventually. But they followed it up by throwing out a stinker the next day. Kyle Hendricks had a good start in San Francisco, and then he followed that one up in Milwaukee by, giving up. Honestly, he didn't pitch that bad. He just had one bad inning with 2 big mistakes. The Christian Yelich home run and then the grand slam shortly thereafter. It could have been that 2-run homer. That 2-run homer was it. That was already the game. They weren't going to come back from a 1-run deficit after the first inning. Nico hit a leadoff home run and then nothing. Then 27 straight outs without a run. It's absurd, dude. It's absurd. This team sucks. We're 11.5 games behind in the division. I don't know where we're at in the wild card, which is stupid because there should be no discussion whatsoever about the wild card. We're in last place behind the Reds, behind the Pirates. Somehow the St. Louis Cardinals are looking okay. It's a shame because we thought that Kyle Hendricks was coming back. We thought that this was a glimpse of maybe he's righted the ship. Maybe he's going back to what he used to be. But no, it's not. I'm getting really stressed out talking about the Cubs on here. And I'm starting to wonder if this is either the worst time or the best time to start talking about the Cubs and creating content for them. Because there's just, if they were really good, there would be nothing really that interesting to talk about, I guess. So in that regard, I guess I'm having fun absolutely trashing this team that I've spent so much time doing. I live in Southern California, and there's so many other things that I could be doing. So many other things. And I'd be having a lot of fun doing that. But instead, I choose to watch this game. I choose to pay attention to this team. I choose to be this upset. So where do we go from here? I don't know, man. We're at the halfway point, and we're 7-8 games under 500. There was comparisons last year of this being 2015, or rather last season being 2015, and this was supposed to be the big jump of a year. And that's such a laughable take in retrospect. Things were so much different in 2015. There was people coming up from the minors that actually had some upside. PCA wouldn't have been called up in 2015. There was Javi Baez, there was Addison Russell. Even before he did all the stuff that we did, that I will not co-sign. I disavow what he did. Rizzo and Bryant were on the upswing. There's nobody like that on this team. Dansby Swanson is stealing money from the Cubs. Cody Bellinger maybe isn't the resurgent year that he had last year. Maybe that was an outlier. He's kind of come back down to earth. And he's the most consistent player that's on the team. Nico hasn't been producing like he should be. God. It's just so upsetting. And there's no investment in the bullpen. There's a super high payroll. It's the highest payroll in the division, definitely. And I don't know, man. I think we got a series against Philadelphia, which we're going to get swept. And I can't remember who we play next. It's ugly, man. It's upsetting. I hate this team. I have no hope for it. I kind of just want to see how bad it can get. I'm at the point where they're not a good team. They're not playing good baseball. So let's see how much the house can burn down. So that's what I want to see. Whatever. Just looking forward for football season. That's really all I got to say about the Cubs. Same team, pathetic, awful, not really worth my time, and I'm gonna give it to them anyways. Yeah, I'm in an abusive relationship with the Chicago Cubs, and there's no way out. Anyways, what else is going on in sports? Oh, last week I forgot to react to the Alex Caruso trade. I think it was just straight up Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. I've seen a lot of arguments online saying Josh Giddey's not a bad name to get. He's young. He's someone who can develop. I don't really know what the Bulls are trying to do here, though. So I liked Alex Caruso a lot. He brought the intensity. He was kind of the emotional fire that drove that team, especially after Lonzo got hurt. Dude, the Bulls blue balled us so bad. They were good for that first half of the season when Lonzo Ball was healthy. And then he got hurt, and we can't hate somebody for getting hurt. It just sucks that it all fell apart the way that it did. So that's super upsetting. Sad to see somebody like Alex Caruso go to another team, but he would have just been wasting away on the Chicago Bulls, who have no identity, no direction. We'll see what other moves they make. I know they drafted the dude from Hinsdale in the first round. Apparently, he was looking really good. I don't know what. I haven't done my research really. I just know he's from Hinsdale. It's cool to see that. The Bears got a dude from Hinsdale. I've been at Hinsdale maybe once. It's kind of just a whatever town. I think Naperville's a lot cooler than that. So, yeah, kind of sad, kind of indifferent on what the Bulls are doing. Doesn't it feel like Chicago just collectively has the worst sports ownership? It's sad to see, man. It's got this big market just holding it by the nuts, dragging it wherever it wants to go. Doesn't matter what we do or want. Whatever. Another big story in American football. The Team USA U20 team playing in some sort of tournament that I didn't even know existed. They lost against the Japanese team. And then since then, they have also lost against Austria. I'm not too worried about this. I know it's a funny headline to see. Funny to see other countries take our game and fabricate this win for themselves. That's fine. Grow the game. I'm cool with that. But they're not sending like the first stringers from Alabama over there, so I'm not too worried about it. It is a funny visual though. It looks like a high school JV game, so that's cool. I'm cool with it. Bad look, especially going into the 4th of July. But whatever. Then we got a couple big soccer tournaments going on through the world. seen a lot of tourists out in Santa Monica for it. They're all obnoxious. It's probably the one thing that sticks out to me about soccer fanatics. Super obnoxious. They do not care about anything except themselves. I could probably look in the mirror for football fans, but I will turn a blind eye to that. I was kind of watching the Euro Cup yesterday. England was playing against, I think it was Switzerland. Anyways, the other team was winning 1-0 all the way through the game. Then we were getting close to the 90th minute, and I knew there was some trickery that was about to happen. I knew they were going to throw on an unrealistic number for stoppage time. They scored in the 95th minute. Because they gave them 6. For what? I think we should watch the rest of this tournament under protest. It's Mickey Mouse. England didn't deserve that. Then in extra time, they scored right away. That game was over. The other team got screwed, so I'm watching under protest myself. Excuse me. That's about as much as I've given attention to any of these tournaments. There's a big game coming up on, I believe, Friday. It'll be Spain versus Germany. I think that'll be, a good matchup. Something to keep an eye on during these dog days of summer where there's absolutely nothing else going on. There's a Copa America going on, too. Mexico's already out of it. I don't care. Mexico doesn't want to win either. So I just have, excuse me, I just have the worst luck with any team that I follow wanting to win. They don't want to. And they're taking me out for the ride. And I'm here for it. We got a hot dog eating contest coming up on 4th of July. Joey Chestnut, the GOAT, the undisputed GOAT, will not be participating. This might be a moment of us truly realizing that this country is going in a direction we don't want it to go. It's very dark. But we'll see how that turns out. I'm going to tune into the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. What else is there to do? It's the 4th of July. It's the most American thing ever. So, looking forward to my week. I'm not going to let the Cubs ruin it. I'm not even going to pay attention to it. I'm just going to show up the next week and just talk about what I see in the box scores. Because I got other things going on in my life. So, I'll check back in next week. Hoping for the best. Honestly, I'm hoping for mediocrity. And expecting even worse than that out of this team. So, at least then I won't be disappointed in any way. So, that's my weekly summary. This has been Wild Bill. It's over.